magical music. We love to hear it. Outnumbered overtime. Oh, gee, baby.
I hear that music in my dreams now, and I'm not even joking. That
I have the best outnumbered anxiety dream.
You do?
Tell us.
Oh,
You can't figure out what
you have
dress to
what?
wear?
No, I woke up at 11:53.
Oh no!
I did not put
Wow.
makeup on before the show, and I looked like Michael Jackson for some reason in my dream.
That would never happen.
Well,
Wow.
You're not sleeping until noon. You have kids.
That's so true. Oh, that's one of the casualties.
You gotta get up
Wow.
early.
I love it that Meghan has a real reason for why that would never happen.
You have children. Me, maybe, but you.
Oh, but the relief when you wake up from a bad dream like that, especially funny anxiety dreams, like,
You know, I used to get
in my
them
mouth.
when I was in local news.
I hate
would
that
get
dream.
anxiety dreams about showing up for the local news late and having on like completely inappropriate
Like
clothing,
like
from
yoga
like the
clothes.
night before.
Judge, where'd
Party
you get
wear.
that pen?
Oh, I knew
I
somebody was
told
going
you
to
it was
say
Sandra.
it. Here you go.
oh my gosh, I
your
thought it was
pen?
gone forever.
Your pen?
I found it over by the computer.
Can I
And I hid it
explain
during- I
this?
hid
Did you
it
find a
under
yellow
the-
highlighter too?
No, I didn't look for that. I
So
hid it under
this
the
pen
paperwork.
is like those that you grew up with where you push a button and it writes a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very important
There
pen
we go.
because
And when
I
you
can
sat down, I said,
quickly
"That's
make
Sandra's
edits
You did?
with a red.
Yeah.
Kennedy knows the drill. She keeps like
You
a set of
you
pens on your.
A rainbow of Sharpies on the
I know.
desk on the Kennedalia show on the Fox Business
One of
Network,
my-
weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Right on the FBN. One of my coveted
channel finder if you
And-
don't have it.
gifts
and midnight.
from being on
Which I
FBN
will
is
be
a
on tonight.
navy blue Sharpie
That's right.
that Kennedy gave me.
It kind of feels like you
And I
watched
have
in your
driven-
Nancy Pelosi.
I've drawn
there.
so many
Nancy
hearts. and other
Pelosi,
things.
oh my gosh, the world is falling apart because of Donald Trump. I've already drafted impeachment articles.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about that for a second. So where
impeachment.
are Maxine Waters and some of these others going with impeachment? Talk to me about how the law works, Judge.
What are they going to impeach him on? What is
Yeah.
the-
Okay, well then
what
there
is
you
the-
go. Let's move on.
What is the high crime and misdemeanor that he's committed?
They don't like him.
That he won.
Yeah, I get that, but what is the high crime? You know, Bill
Did you hear what
Clinton.
she
Bill
called the
Clinton perjured
administration?
himself.
Maxine Waters, yeah, she's
Yikes.
Bill
Rhymes
Clinton-
with bum
But can
bag.
we also talk about the fact that an impeachment would
very close to
tear this country apart? I mean, it would be catastrophic for
First of all-
America, and it's so selfish.
Here you go. The last time that we heard from Steve Bannon was regarding the media when he called the media the opposition party.
And when
Did he
was
do
that?
it on camera though? I think it was just a
Still looking.
statement, or he doesn't.
He said
give
the media
interviews.
should be embarrassed and humiliated and keep its mouth shut and just listen for a while.
Did you see George Clooney clap back at him? And
He
said
said this
was a
on
failed
Wednesday.
writer?
Oh, George.
Oh, really?
I want you to quote this. He said, the media here is the opposition party. They don't understand this country. They still do not understand why Donald Trump is the president of the United
Was
States.
he on camera?
It does not
I think
say
it's
that.
just a statement.
Yeah. I think the audience will understand that we thought, like we were talking about, we couldn't remember the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a.
Oh, it was definitely
I'm gonna
not
make
on
a wager.
camera. So yeah, I don't think anybody's
Saturday
had him.
Night Live is not going to have Rosie O'Donnell play Steve Bannon. First of all, she's not fun anymore.
Because nobody would know who she's
She's
playing.
lost her mind. She used to be funny at one
Her
point. She used to be
Twitter is
very
next level. Have you seen her Twitter? Is
No, I
crazy.
can't.
It's like shares.
Were you the one? Someone got her and Roseanne Barr to start fighting one day.
No,
Oh, I
that's
thought you were going to say
everything.
they got them confused.
So they actually, just to further, I'll finish this here.
Okay.
They could not find anything on tape.
There you go. I can't remember the last time I saw him talking.
Nothing of him on camera saying anything.
It doesn't make sense. But, you know, now that he will be on stage with Reince Priebus at CPAC, there will be video of his voice
Correct.
and his feelings and opinions. And, you know,
you're
if
talking
Saturday
SNL
Night
now?
Live does,
Okay.
in fact, do an impression of him. Hopefully, and I'm assuming they will not use Rosie O'Donnell.
Can we talk about SNL for just a second? I know you
Sure.
used to work there, Megan.
I did.
You really think that it's a problem when they parody you and the character is too good? Why?
Because I think it has the opportunity, and I would say in the case of Melissa McCarthy, of taking on a life of its own. I mean, people now refer to Sean Spicer as Melissa. I've seen it on TV. I think Bill Maher did it over the weekend, even though obviously he has his own agenda. And I think when it's too funny and too good, it can take on a life of its own. I always debate that SNL sincerely hurt Sarah Palin and her reputation in her career. She could have come back from it, but I think if you don't play along and you don't think it's funny, I worry. I told you I would have told Sean Spicer to bring out a squirt gun, or a squirt gun, but you know, like the water one,
Yeah.
when his first press conference to make a
Or a
joke out
wad of
it.
gum.
If
There are a
you
lot of
thought that he was
doubts.
capable
Something.
of being funny and making a joke
He
out of
is.
it, maybe
He's
he
self-aware.
nice
He's very
man,
funny.
yeah.
He's very affable.
It was probably
Maybe he
directed to
just was not up for it.
respond to it.
They gave SNL too much power, though. I mean, our president going after it, it turns them into, like, you know, sort of like rock and roll resistance against Donald Trump for people that hate him so much. And I would have just been like, it's a parody, it's funny,
You know,
I'm president.
It would be funny if he
The
had
end.
that podium on a Segway.
Yes.
I mean, if he actually did something literally like that.
I finally tuned into SNL for the first time with all this going on. I hadn't seen any of the other ones when they were happening. I just saw the clips.
It hasn't been good in a long
And then it was a rerun on Saturday night.
A friend of
2013.
mine texted me today, I don't know if it's true, maybe you would probably know, that a Spanish or a Brazilian paper actually, or television station aired the Saturday Night Live clip of Alec Baldwin doing Trump.
As the
if it
real
were
thing?
The real
Oh,
Trump.
gosh.
No.
That's ridiculous,
amazing.
though.
I'm dying to find out if that's really true.
little
Because
Best political presidential impression that Saturday Night Live has done over the years, and Daryl Hammond was amazing as Bill Clinton, but the funniest still to this day is Chevy Chase as Gerald Ford.
Yeah.
Because he
when he would
didn't
bang his head on everything.
Fall down.
and he didn't in any way try and look or sound like the president. And
Yeah.
that's what made it so completely ridiculous. 'cause
Remember,
it was just,
he broke his arm doing
I
the
want to pull
impersonation
this
when
off
he
the
dropped
live
the
chat.
podium.
Oh, my.
Because
When he
Kennedy, the people loved what you said about Betsy DeVos in terms of going up against the president about ripping the transgender legislation and kicking it back to the states. CTAE says if Donald Trump does not listen to DeVos, his education secretary, on how the bathroom ban can affect schools, what else will he not listen to her on? Interesting.
yes. And there are a number of issues. And,
That was his interesting, not mine.
Yeah, but no, but this is why you see how important it is for these people to have domain over their various departments.
Well,
Because
reportedly, that's why
the
some are
president,
leaving.
as we know, is a big picture thinker, and he delegates the specifics to people like this. And, you know, even though the left fetishized several of the issues during the confirmation process and really disregarded some of the more important issues and, you know, didn't ask more pressing questions that we needed answers for, you still end up with a half-stocked cabinet.
If the reports are correct on this, and I mean, they're widespread, I just want to know how deep they go in sourcing. But Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said not to be very happy right now for the very reason that you're pointing out, that he doesn't feel like he has that, according to reports, autonomy to rule his own roost, to hire who he wants. And of course, we've heard reports about this with the person that they were going to try to put up behind General Flynn, Bob Harwood. Well, you know, he said he's leaving for his family. I totally believe that, but there are also reports behind the scenes that he was not happy about the fact he couldn't hire his own staff. You saw what happened with the HUD secretary over the weekend, Ben Carson. His #1 person let go because she had written something negative, very negative about the president. But he was told, he said he was out at a meeting, at a lunch meeting, and he was told on a cell phone what had happened. Yeah, that she'd been fired.
I mean, and again, and Megan, you can attest to this, having been through this process so many times. This is a very young White House. You know, the president just started his second month, and it actually happens with every administration. Yeah. But I think that a lot of these personnel issues, and the president does have a very strong personality. He's also used to having been in the limelight for decades, which is different for most presidents who come to this sort of scrutiny fairly new. They're newbies. Yeah. But, you know, it's going to take some time for them to get their legs underneath them, and, you know, you have to be confident and not just attack every single thing, because that in and of itself gets exhausting.
Yeah, well, not to mention the fact that every president deserves to have people around him whom he can trust. Yeah. And because of the leaks out of the White House in this administration, you could certainly understand if he were a little heavy-handed in terms of you stay, you go, you stay, you go. Yeah. And some 100%. Say that he hasn't fired enough people. We've talked about it on this couch. What are you seeing on Facebook Live? You are just buried in there.
Well, you know how Facebook Live is, the comments come in super fast. So
shout-outs? I love the shout-out.
You can send in some. Let's see. A lot of people talking about the bathroom issue.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic.
Some people talking on the live
Somebody's
chat.
trying to be funny and said, this Halloween I'm going to dress up as a Democrat and contradict myself all night.
Okay. Artemis once says that Sandra won't let go of that great pen.
I don't want to be.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Artemis once says that Sandra won't let go of that pen.
I know the feeling. Hold on.
You know what? And
I'll pass this over to you.
Oh, wait, you took each other's pen.
Oh, she
Hold on tight to that pen.
Senator Bob Dole.
It is kind of a little interesting that the counter, if you will, the counter point of view for the administration hasn't turned out to be the journalists as much as it has SNL. And I guess that's how it's not supposed to be. Meghan says it's supposed to be representing both sides.
It traditionally was up until 8 years ago, and then they went full left, and now they've gone full socialist. But I love my time working there.
I think it's more a comment on journalists than it is SNL.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, the mic's on the floor. He dropped it. Jeff, thanks for bringing the sunshine from Florida. Oh, no, that's just Sandra's pen. See you tomorrow.
Not anymore.
That's his.